Arriving to Belfast by train, it was really hard to tell when you left the Republic and when Northern Ireland started. The only things we noticed is that the hills became a lot more hillier, and also the number of cows just increased. There were just a lot more cows when you looked outside the window. But once you arrive and just walk through the city, it's really hard sometimes to remember that we're technically in a different country. And other times it does feel very different. It's almost confusing to hear people speak with a more Irish accent.
Yeah, and one of the first things you realize is just the verticality of the place. Taller buildings. They definitely are not afraid of building a bit higher here.
Walking around the city centre is maybe what felt the most quotation mark British to us, having lived in London. Just this whole thing of like you have your central area with your high streets, the shops, lots of restaurants, pedestrian areas. That reminded us a lot of when we lived in the UK and feels a bit less like Irish cities, especially Dublin, which is a lot more cramped and a lot older in the city centre.
Yes, especially with the architecture. In Dublin, you walk around, you can see a little more Georgian type buildings. Over here is Victorian. So you can definitely feel that everything's a bit newer, a newer city. And I do like that they still have to pay in the homage to the old and new. They are within the city center. The new buildings kind of just juxtapose with the old buildings, kind of like it is in Dublin too. So that's the kind of vibe we do like.
Walking through the city actually reminded us a little bit about Glasgow. Our first impression of Glasgow was like everything is wider, like someone literally went and elongated the sidewalks and everything. And it feels a bit the same way here. There's a really nice amount of space for pedestrians like us who walk around a lot, and even to leave space for outdoor seating areas. I don't think I've ever seen that many outdoor seating areas anywhere in Ireland before.
But the transportation system was kind of interesting because we actually did everything via an app. We just logged onto the app, paid for the cards, and we just walked up, kind of like showed the driver the app. So that's fun. It's been pretty easy to get around so far. We haven't been that far out of the city, but it's been quite pleasant so far.
The city centre is a really good size, just big enough to feel like you have a lot to explore, but also it just took us one day to get familiar with enough of the main streets to be able to comfortably find our way around, more or less. And if you get lost, there's usually a lot of nice side streets to just be walking down instead.
Hello there. So, this is day two of our time here in Belfast. So, this is one of the main reasons for the trip we decided to come here. This is Cave Hill. Yes, anybody from Barbados is like, what, Cave Hill? Because that's the name of one of the campuses of the university back home. But no, this Cave Hill is, well, a hill with some caves in it. But it also has this long walk, which we're currently on. We're kind of like on our first stop, try to fuel up with some half scone and some, hot beverages. Interesting enough. Um, I don't know why we're having hot beverages because it is hot. Here in Belfast, unlike Dublin, it is 20 degrees. I have not felt 20 degrees since going to Barbados last year. We're at the first lookout point. What do you think of this view?
So when you come out of the dense forest, the first thing you see is the view opening up onto the bay. Like you get to see ships, you get to see all the way to the ocean, and then you look behind and you realize how tall that cliff is that you're about to climb. And it's a bit terrifying.
Yeah, we'll make it. Remember, when you see this video, we did A-okay.
I want to see a cave.
About to huff and puff. I'm about to go up a set of stairs here. We're continuing our journey. I don't know how far we are up. Kind of out of the forest now into this clearing. It's a good time to be here because there's like the flowering plants and stuff. We've got a nice orange hue of the flowers growing. on the cliffs. So yeah, what head up this set of stairs here and see what's next in the adventure. We did spot a cave there. Did not bother to go up to it. I've heard that there are about 5 caves that you can see on the walk. Um, Probably 2 of them are accessible. That was one of the 2, probably. So if I feel adventurous enough, might just pop into the second one. So we made it to the top. Yeah, the second half was actually a bit easier. Easier quotation marks, because it still made us break into a sweat. We're calm and cool and just got a sandwich for that, so we're, you know, chilling here looking at this view of Belfast.
It's a bit of a hazy day, but in the distance you can see a big lake. Obviously, you see all of the bay. But one thing that stands out to me is the landmark, if you will, for Belfast. 2 huge yellow
Yes, they're
cranes
cranes, yeah.
that they used to build ships that were in their day the tallest in the world. And like we saw it from like ground floor, just walking along the street level before. We spotted one of them in the sky and we were like, oh, that looks pretty cool. But now seeing the view from that much up higher, you realize how huge they are. They're so tall. You can see them pretty clearly and they just look like they're towering above the city. The way back down from the hill was a little bit less exciting, but we were lucky because we just came in time to have all the flowers bloom. And at the end of the trail, we were really just looking forward to some nice lunch, which we had in front of the castle overlooking the bay. And of course, we couldn't leave without stopping to pet one of the castle's many cat statues.
Yes, when I mean she made me not physically leave the place until she could pet this cat. So look at her being here, all happy petting the cat. And after that, we went directly to Titanic Quarter, which is obviously, it's in the name, all about the Titanic. We didn't actually go inside any of the museums in here, but we just kind of walked around to get a vibe of the place. Also, we got there kind of late and it was 4 o'clock, so almost all the cafes and everything were closed. If you're going there, please go early in the day. Don't be like us.
It's kind of funny because it feels like they're trying to regenerate the area into a bit like what the Docklands are like in Dublin. And it is exactly like that. You get there too late, it's kind of quite empty. People are all just leaving, trying to go home, and there's not quite nothing there because we did chill on some benches and there were other people, but it's definitely winding down.
What I did like is that area that we did sit there. They had this row of apartments at the bottom were all eating places, and that part in the center where you can sit and get something to eat. I always like the open spaces. Like, yeah, it's that kind of thing that I think is missing from the city center of Dublin, where you have more places to just grab some food, sit, eat outside, enjoy the weather. Okay, so right now we're at our location. How do you pronounce this again?
I have no idea. I was gonna say Belvoir Forest, but on the bus it sounded like Belly Forest.
Yeah, that place. So we are now starting our walk here. We're here by a stream. The crazy thing is that as soon as we came in, we were met by a nice gentleman. Can't remember. Jim, was it?
Jim.
Jim, yeah. And he immediately saw that we were looking at the map. I was like, you know what? This is the best walk to take. So I think we've committed all of it to memory. Had a nice chat there for, I don't know, almost 10 minutes from everything about the park, the history of the estate that was here. You know, of course, the rum always has to mention Barbados and bring it up in some location or conversation. So we chat about a lot of stuff. The weather is actually great today. It started off kind of grey, but we're very happy it's starting to look bright. It's a nice path through the forest park. For the best walks, follow the river to the left or the right. Albeit getting a bit lost, we were able to find our final destination for a nice lunch. Those were the 3 days we spent in Belfast. A short trip, but a very easy one for us to take. There's a lot we didn't do, but we'll save that for another trip. Drop this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see what life in Ireland is like.